enough time. This is Lisa Harris. I'll be going through Cloud CMA live with you today. A couple things, it will be recorded today, so the video that we'll be doing, you'll be able to view on YouTube. So please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then you can view any of the webinars that are being recorded, and you can always go back to those. So we will be working on Cloud CMA Live today. And again, if you weren't on earlier, if you look on the right side of your screen, there is a handout. You can click on that and download that right to your computer. And it's a PDF. It will walk you through all the steps of everything we're doing today. So you'll have something to go back to. And also on the right side of your screen, if you do have a question, you have a hand. So if you put your hand up, we can unmute you to answer any questions you have. And there's also a chat. If you type in your question, Debbie Fajardo, our Director of Education, is on with us today, and she will help us along with any questions that we have as we go. Okay, so let's get started. So Cloud CMA Live is an additional feature that you now have in Cloud CMA. It is created automatically when you do create a Cloud CMA report. And the way you start off your report is you'll want to go into Paragon, select your search, residential condo, and we're going to fill in all the criteria that we would need to find our comps. Once we fill them in, we will search for our comps and select which properties we want to use as the comparables. And once you have these, we're going to go ahead and select whatever you want to use in your report. And then you're going to go to your action link in the top section here. And that will give you the option to pull these into Cloud CMA. Now we do a full Cloud CMA class. Today we will not be, we'll just be going through the live section, but please sign up for the Cloud CMA class if you do need more help with that. But again, you would select your properties, action link, and there is a Cloud CMA that will pull all the properties into Cloud, and that will allow you to create your report, and you will walk through the 4 steps to create it. Once your report is created, when you go to Cloud CMA, you will now see that link for your live presentation. And the idea of the live presentation is that you actually can go through virtually with your client and walk through all the pages you've created in your report. And it becomes a little bit nicer because you can draw in the report, you can look at the comps and add additional right as you're going through it. And it gives you a few other options. So it's a great feature. So if you look at your report itself, we have your PDF link, and you also have that presentation, that slideshow that we used to have at the bottom left of your screen. It's now still up here. So if you go down to that, you can still get your slideshow. So if you do want to show that or send that to your client, you do have that option. But we're going to look at the live version. So if you look in the bottom left corner of your report, you will select View Live. And just give that a second to load, and it's going to create your report. So here is our live presentation mode. And if you look, you'll have photo information about the property. And if you scroll down further, you have tiles. Each one of these tiles contain different information, which is the actual reports that you've created in your Cloud CMA report, just as you do as your PDF. And you can click on any one of these to go to that section. You can also modify what's being included. Top left of your screen, you have these 3 lines. They call it the hamburger stack. If you select this, you can now see what you've included in your CMA report when you've actually started your Cloud CMA and walk through all the steps. You can remove or add whatever you'd like. If you look underneath, there is a Customize button. Okay, we're going to go ahead and select Customize. And when you do, you're going to see there's like an eye icon next to each one. All of these are being included in your report currently for your presentation. But if I scroll down a little bit further, if there's something not included, you'll see there's a line through it. So if I want to add this back in, I would just go ahead and click on it, and it's now included in my report. So again, you can do this as you're sitting with your client. If I don't want to include it, I can just go ahead and click on it again to remove it. You can also put these in whichever order you prefer. So if you left click, you can see now you've got these 4 arrows, you left click, and you can drag them up or move it down and create whatever order you'd like for your report. When you're done, there is a Done button right here in the bottom left. Make sure you select that. It's now going to save your changes. So again, to find this, it's just going to be if you're looking at your home page, top left screen, 3 lines. Here are your tiles. You can select Customize, and then you can make your changes from here by clicking on each one, and then also dragging them up and down. Okay, so that's our customized. So let's go ahead and take a look at the report itself. So if we go back, we're going to go ahead and close this out, go back to our home page. And if you look in the bottom right corner of your screen, you have a start presentation. I'm going to go ahead and select that. And it's going to take you to the first page that you've included. If you look in the bottom right and left, it does have arrows for you to go back and forth. So you can toggle between these tiles or these pages and go back and forth as you're going through them with your client. So I'm going to go ahead and select the next one. When you get to your comparables, it does give you multiple options. In the top right corner, you can see compare. That's going to give you the side-by-side comparison. So these were the comparables I had selected. My subject property is always first. Then you can see your comparables. You'll notice they'll have little sections here that on top of a photo that might be something to give you more information. For example, this home is the most expensive of what I've selected for my comparables. This one is closest to the subject property. So you may see little bylines in there. As you scroll down further, you'll see some percentage in here also, which will give you, for the listing details, list price and sold price, and a percentage of what that sold price was compared to the price it was listed for. If you look in the top here also, you have some other percentages that may be different than what they're showing for from the list to this the property that was in the MLS to tax records. So there's a difference in percentage also. And again, these will show if they're closed and the price that they closed for. In the top right where you can change your view, the next option is map. The map view will actually allow you to view other properties in the area that you have not selected for your comparables. And the nice thing about this is as I'm going through this and my client says, you know, there's something that just went pending on the street over. I didn't see that in your comparables. Let's take a look at it. I can go ahead and select that property, which there's a pending one right here. Again, they're color coded. So your reds are your closed, your yellow are your pending, green is active. And then you can go ahead and select any one of those properties. And it will load on the left side of your screen. Photo, a little bit of information about it. You can take a look at it. Maybe at that point you decide this is a good comparable. I can include it right from here. Top of that photo, select that. Now this is included in this report as I'm viewing it. I want to close this out. There's an X, close that out. And again, you can go ahead and go through any one of these properties. You can move this around. When you load this map view, if nothing is popping up as far as dots viewing other properties, you may be zoomed out too far. If you are, you will not see those properties. In order to see them, you'll see in the top section here in the middle, zoom to see more listings. Just select that. Once you do, it will zoom you into the level you need to be, and then all the dots will appear. Okay, so those are our map view. And then you've got the list in the top right. If I select list, I can now see a one-line list of all the properties. If I decide at this point I want to remove something, you do have these slide bars to the left of the address. So if I want to remove one of these properties, I just go ahead and click on that. It's now removed it from my comparables, which also removes it from my averages when it'll break down the numbers in my graphs as we get into the next sections. Okay, at the bottom, I can click to my next page. Average pricing is the next one. Again, you can always go back a step by going to the left side. Go ahead and select the next one. And now we're getting into some graphs. So some of these graphs you can actually click on and see additional items. So for these, it's giving me properties for closed. If I click on one, it is going to load that property for me, and it's going to show me more information about it. I can see the additional photos, and I can scroll down and read the details about the property and schools. Again, you can always remove this from your comps by selecting that slide bar. And in the top left corner, there's an X. That will close it out and take you back to the next section. And if I go down further, now I have my pending. Same thing, you can select any one of these bars. It will show you that property and more information. And you have always the option of removing it. And if you have actives, that will also show up in this section. As you're going through each one of these pages, you'll notice in the bottom middle of section, there's a pencil. It's called a telestrator. The pencil allows you to draw on the pages to maybe make some notes for your clients. So maybe as I'm going through this, I want to highlight something about the property, maybe the list price, maybe I want to talk to them about this. I can circle it just so I can explain it to them as I'm going through it. To remove anything you draw, you can also exit out and it will take those drawings off. Again, so if you go to the bottom right, we can move to the next section. Now we're getting into average price per square foot. In this section, you will actually see some type of a graph. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see it better here. So it's going to show the different properties. Again, you can select them. On the left side, you can see those are also all showing up with a little bit of information with the square footage. And there is an eye in the top right corner of your screen in a black circle. The eye is for information. It's more information. And what that is, it's actually going to show a video explaining what this graphing means. So if I select it, you're not going to be able to view it, but as you're looking at your page, if you're following along, select the eye, there'll be a short video, and it does explain, again, what you're seeing on this graph. So wherever you see that, there will be more information, typically a video. Okay, so we'll get into the next one. Going to the next section here. Again, you can see some more graphing. This shows from the list price to sold price. So you can see the drop. So just by viewing on this graph, I can see if there's a large drop or a smaller drop from what they listed to what they sold for as I'm looking at this. So again, you can see the different properties through here. And again, you can zoom out and zoom in to get a better view of it. Okay, so we'll scroll through. And again, some of these are static. You can't really do anything with the page other than view it, but others have that circle with the eye that gives you a video. You can actually go ahead and remove comps or add comps in and so forth. So as you go through these, you can view the different ones. If there's something in here you don't want to include, you always can go back to that hamburger stack here at the top left of your screen, and you can customize and select to remove it. So as you're going through, so after you've created it before viewing it with your client, you can walk through, customize it, then it's ready to go. Okay. You can also upload additional pages. You may have your own pages you want to include. I have my data sharing for the MLS for MiRealSource, and this shows all the different MLSs that we're data sharing with. And the information, it's a great map, shows all the dots and of all the properties that we have access to. So anything that you do want to include, this is all in your customize. As you're creating your Cloud CMA, you can go into your customize at the top right of your screen, and you'll be able to add in any additional pages when you're actually creating your CMA report during those 4 tabs. Or you can also do it under your settings. But from here also, I can email this. So as I'm going through it, I may be discussing things with my client, decide I want to send this over to them. I can select email report, and it will allow me to send this over to my client. And it will take you into your email and allow you to send it right from your email. It will pull in, it actually will log you into your email if you do have it open, and it sends the live report to them. You do have an option too in Cloud to send your PDF, your presentation mode. You can always copy any of those and send them in your email. So we'll go back into our Cloud, and I'll show you how to get back into those. I did also include some statistical information from our market stats in Paragon. I do like including for the area so they can see any market updates. So I have April in here. Again, as long as you upload these in your settings for your custom pages, you can include these. So I do have a few different ones included in here for them to view. So anything that's important for your client to view, make sure it's in your settings under custom pages. And then that option will be there for you. So the idea of this live presentation is so I can sit with my client and view it while I'm with them. But obviously with our times right now, we're not sitting with our clients like we could before as much. So if you want to sit and go through this with them virtually, you do have that option. You go back into that little hamburger stack in the top left of your screen. The very bottom, you're going to see there's an option to start a virtual meeting. I can use Zoom, Skype, Screen, and also Hangouts. I'm going to go ahead and go with Zoom just to kind of walk you through a few of the steps here. If you select Start, it will take you into launching your Zoom. And then you're going to select what you're actually going to share with your client. So as this opens up, it's going to give me an option to schedule it. Or if I want to view it with them now, I can select the screen, and then I will actually highlight my screen, and then I can select and add my contacts or add an email address or whatever I'd like to do. So you would select your screen and hit share. Unfortunately, since we are live streaming, I won't be able to demonstrate going through all the steps, but this will take you to the point where it will allow you to share it and then add your contacts from that point. And I know a lot of us are using the Zoom with our offices and other meetings. So you do have an option to virtually walk through this with your client. And again, that's under that hamburger stack in the top left of your screen, down where it says start a virtual meeting, and then you would just hit start, and then it'll walk you through the steps. And again, if you don't want to use Zoom, you do have the option of Skype, Screen, or Hangouts. So all those options are in there for you. Okay, so before I go to show you how to add the other things into Cloud, is there any questions at this point? If you want to raise your hand, we can unmute you, or if you would like to just send a chat message, Debbie can read out your question and I can show you again, or I can walk through anything again for you. And again, it'll be on the right side of your screen.
Hey, Lisa, I've also added the cheat sheet on how to upload a PDF into your Cloud CMA. Seeing how you were nice enough to show them that you had a market stats graph in there, I thought I would add the cheat sheet for them as well.
That's perfect. Thank you so much, Deb. So again, if you look on the right side of your screen, you should have a section that says handouts. Open that up. There's 2 PDFs in there for you. So it's going to show you how to add those PDFs. And again, it's under your settings, which I'll show you again how to get to it. And you can also view that handout, which is step-by-step of what we just walked through today. I did add a lot of screenshots, so it's pretty simple to follow. And again, our tech support's always around to help. But is there any questions or something you'd like me to show you again at this point? Debbie, do you have anything at all? I'm not seeing anybody.
No, I think they're finally going to have some questions when they go to do it, though. And if they have questions when they actually go to do it, don't forget this video is being recorded and it will be on our YouTube channel. I added that into the chat section, the whole playlist on CMAs. So you've got the entire CMA one and how to do this live presentation and customizing this.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Deb. So again, if you go back to your Cloud CMA page, where to find this is just going to be in the bottom left of your screen of your report, and that view live option is there. But if you go to the 3 dots here, you can copy any of those links. So those are all up here for you. You can copy them and email them to your client right from your email itself, or you can also email reports directly from here, and it does allow you to select multiple. Okay, so I believe we've gone through everything. So again, just remember, start off in Paragon, find those comparables, select them. You have your action link up here that will allow you to add it to Cloud. When you get into Cloud, you're going to walk through the 4 steps it gives you to create that report, and it's going to be in the bottom left, and then it will take you into your report. So again, it's a great way to present this, whether you're sitting with your client or if you'd like to do a virtual. So if there's any other questions, I can answer them at this point, but that basically walks us through everything. Everyone seems to be good. I'm not seeing any questions at this point. Okay, well, I hope to see you in some more of our webinars. Hopefully soon enough we can be back in the classroom, but until then, please come to any of our webinars. We've got many of them. Debbie sends out emails. You can sign up just before the class starts. There's always plenty of room to get you in. Tech support's always around to help you. If you need help with anything in Paragon or any of our other sites, remember in Paragon itself, you do have MLS documents in the top right of your screen. And we have all of our handouts under education. And right now we have 74 of them, and it does break things down in sections for you. So it's much easier to follow screenshots. And while you're sitting around, you can play with any of these. And again, tech support's always around to help you. So I think at this point, are we good, Debbie? Is there any other questions or anything I didn't cover?
I think we are good. You laid it all out for everybody. I think it's a really great new product that Cloud CMA has come up with. I'm excited to play around with it too.
Sounds good. Well, great. Well, thank you, everyone. I hope everyone stays safe and healthy out there, and hopefully everyone hope to see everybody soon. Have a great day.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you. Bye.